And today we are talking about family discipline, and we do have Rose Mbaye, who's a family coach in physical studio with us. But before we get to her, like I said, we're talking about family discipline, and specifically what we had to ask you guys was, who should discipline the child, mom or dad? And this is what you had to say.
Both parents. Because a child is the responsibility of both parents.
I said both, because both parents have a responsibility, and they should not have any blame game. Because when there is any form of indiscipline, both parents will feel the pinch when the child does not go to the right way, according to the Bible.
The mother. Why? Because myself, I was disciplined by my mother, and that's what I am.
The children are supposed to be disciplined by all the parents. All the parents play a vital role in the life of a child. Because if one part is not there, either the mother or the father, you'll find that as a child you are losing something, either motherly care or the fatherly care. But when both the parents are there, you get that parental care. So it's always better and prudent if all the parents give discipline to the child.
Yes, and like I mentioned earlier, we do have family coach Rose Mbaye in studio with us. So welcome, Rose.
Thank you.
Nice to have you again.
Nice to have you again.
So let me just start by saying that my dad never touched me till I think the day that he died. My dad never touched me. My mom was the disciplinarian. Does that happen a lot?
Yes, it do happen.
Okay. Yeah.
But also I want to answer and say, we need to start by defining what is discipline.
What is discipline?
Because I'm sure if I asked you maybe a question, did you ever find yourself in a position where your dad told you, kwa nini haukufanya hivyo, sitakupea?
That is also discipline. Yeah, that definitely happened.
So people, I'm sure most of the people think disciplining is...
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we can start with the types of discipline.
What is discipline first? Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Discipline is a practice of training people for them to adapt a certain behavior.
Okay.
Or correcting a certain behavior. So there are many, I mean, when we talk about types of discipline, we talk about negative and positive reinforcement. We call it reinforcement. So did you know that the time we were told that during our days, nowadays things have really changed. During those days, you could be told, because you never did this, inje hautakula. That is discipline.
Okay, yeah, that's discipline.
You know, and actually I remember our parents were very tough on this. But right now, they are better way of doing it. So we call it negative and positive. Maybe I can quickly say, what is negative reinforcement? Negative reinforcement is where, for example, giving an example, nowadays people take kids out or maybe on Sunday. We know as a family, we go out, we do lunch. That day, that particular day, you know, that particular person really loves that pizza day. So that day you tell them, we are all going as usual, but because you never did what I told you, you're going to remain behind. I like the way, but that is something that, and before you do that, explain, sit down and tell her, remember him. This is why, because you never did. You have not touched this person. But of course, the whole day, you can only imagine what you go through this child. We call it negative reinforcement, including spanking. Positive reinforcement is where you want, maybe you have a daughter that is quite lazy, and you're like, umemchapa mpaka sasa nyumba bedroom akiamka anaacha. So you decide now what I'll do, I'll be observing any little good thing she does, and I reinforce. I give reward, like, wow, well done. Get this apple. Maybe I bought this mirror because I learned that yesterday you really cleaned up your bedroom. So that is a positive reinforcement.
I love that. And in my home, we have like a reward scheme where, because they are small, my babies are toddlers, the oldest is 7, so they still clearly just think alike. And we give smiley faces. Like if you do something, you finished your food, you get your smiley face. So what is the age appropriate kind of discipline? Because you see, I cannot discipline my 7-year-old and my 2-year-old the same.
Thank you. Did you know that those of you with kids, when a baby is as young as 2 days, she knows, I want this, nataka mama amke, so nitafanya nalia. Then what happens? You are reinforcing a behavior. So tomorrow kakisikia kanataka hizo kanalia. You wake up, well, yes, sorry, and then kanalala. So that is so you can start punishing as siku ya kwanza
early as 2
kuzaliwa.
days old, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And the good thing with now, because we need to know which kind of, and I know we'll discuss that.
Yeah.
So as early as and as late as.
Yeah.
As long as, you know, your mother will always call you a child, even today. Mamangu ananitaka, labda na watch, ananitaka bado mtoto. So maybe there's a way tunaweza kosana is like, even when people are grown up, there's a way of saying, okay, fine, as a result of this, maybe that time hataongea, unasikia mzazi labda amenyamaza, haongei. That is a behavior reinforcement. Anajua this person, I mean, tukikosana, this what happens. So the good thing with this, you need to know, for the 7 years old, maybe a spanking could do. Because why did you do this? And please, never ever discipline any child without explaining.
Okay.
Always let them know.
This
please,
is why
if
this is
someone
happening.
comes and tells you, alifanya hivi na hivi, always make sure, are you the one who did this? Because of this, actually, I get into a negotiation with my son. Could be he's actually watching. Okay, you did this and this. Okay, actually have a book. We do a mistake, ujiandikie, unaandika. Then, jioni ilikuwa ngapi? So how many do you want? What do you want? Do I withdraw? Apana, nataka tu moja. Okay, fine.
Choose.
Use your poison.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, we
That's a
need to
good
engage
one.
so that they know. You know, during our days, there are people who could really punish. Actually, that was more than
Corporal
behaving.
punishment.
Corporal.
Hey, bro,
Yeah.
tulipigwa.
And you see, this one you are negotiating with someone. Someone feels, and yeah, I deserve this, and tomorrow they'll be very careful to repeat.
Yeah.
If they do it, they're like, I did this and this. I'm very, very sorry about it. Yes.
So I have a friend who I think her son is just a year and a few months, and I was asking her, you know, about like, you know, how does she discipline him, you know, because like not I'm assuming boys are just harder to raise than girls. Girls will listen, boys won't. So she told me that she used to like smack him on the hand like if he does like something wrong, right? So she realized when he was playing with his friends, like he'd also like beat them because to him what they've done is wrong, and when you do something wrong, you're beaten.
Yes.
So she stopped like beating him. So how
yes.
do you stop them from like behaving the same way with their with the other kids?
Yes, it's always important for them to know. Actually, you brought up a very important point. Please never use your hands as in kugonga
I was
mtoto.
about to ask that because the Bible even says like use your hand to bless your children. So whenever even my nanny reports that huyu alifanya hivi and I'll make her report herself, she knows she has to bring her slippers.
Yes,
because I cannot beat her with my hand.
Hands are to love, to nurture. You know, to nurture, to know warmth. So please never. I know at times, I like someone said that. At times the mother in me just comes out before I remember to go for something. The mother, because you see, enye ilikuwa karibu ndio ilikuwa nachukuliwa ama kama ni mkono. But anything, and never draw. Thank you for that point. Never throw an object towards your child. You're making them feel scared. But just discuss, take something and so that tomorrow after that you keep it down and now you can hug and bless.
Okay, so is it safe to say we suffered from trauma because tulipiwa vitu tukapigwa na demo?
Actually, this generation, most of us,
they have no idea.
But let's be honest, right now, the generation that we have right now and the generation that was before, which was us, was totally different. Squeezy, unapunish mtoto and they are taking it as hate.
Yes.
Kitambo ulikuwa unajua utapigwa and in fact hata utabangi hiyo mlango. Squeezy watoto wa squeezy atabangi hiyo mlango and you're wondering, is there a shift, a seismic shift in the atmosphere? Why is it that the generation for these days, is it because they are not beaten enough?
No, I don't. I according to me, this is what I think. There is something that our children are seeing us doing, and parents, we need to be very, very careful. Man can see, man can do.
That's true.
Before you punish, by the way, before you discipline, what are your characters?
Yeah.
If your child has had you abuse your wife,
Or seen you.
and actually had, some are smart enough to take even the phones and see you've been doing some other stuff with other women.
Oh, wow.
What have you?
That's true.
I do a lot of this with kids, and they really open up.
That's true.
Then how dare you come and start, you know, why are you shouting at, I'm thinking,
But you
I
shout
thought
all
you were
the
the one who
time.
trained me how to talk. The tone of voice. The way you want your kids to behave, can you first of all model?
Yeah.
Our parents, you'll ask me about this, the kind of environment we are in is quite different.
Very.
Our parents, you could see some form of respect.
Yes.
Kulikuwa na mambo mingi walikuwa wanafanya. Most of our parents could really hide many things.
Yeah.
And what happens is they see most of them actually, it's a lot of traumatic things that happen even in their families.
Yeah.
So by the time a child ana get place ya kufanya kitu mbaya, already ni vitu mingi amejiwekea. So it is very, very important before, because the generation we are doing, things are not okay.
Okay, let me just read this very interesting text. There's someone here who's SMS and said, is it normal for a parent to hate her child to an extent of slapping a 3-year-old for singing in their house?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is my client, I must say so.
Okay.
Because if we don't deal with ourselves, that one we call it projection. Projection is why you are so angry at your boss, matatu, everything. Ukikuja jioni, you just want whatever iko karibu na wewe, you want to project your anger.
Yeah.
So the issue is not a child.
So they're projecting.
They're just
It's
projecting.
not the
Please,
child.
please deal with yourself. Please get a counselor, deal with that, because
Yeah.
it's so unfair for this child.
Yeah.
Because where should they take their
You know?
frustrations?
Could it be that this happens like a lot, like mothers who didn't plan for pregnancies blame their children for ruining their lives?
Yeah, it is
Could
so
it be?
Oh yes, it is so happens.
Yeah.
Others actually, and this one is a very serious thing, because at times when I talk to kids, some of them will tell me, I feel like my mom didn't really love me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the result of their separation. Actually, kids even
They
blame
think it's their
themselves
fault,
for the
yes.
separation and divorce that happens. Why? Maybe in between they had some
were okay,
exchanges,
yeah.
and again at some point they could hear, kwa nini ukubaya mtoto hii, kwa nini? So please, parents, keep off your kids from your differences.
arguments, yeah.
Sort your issues in your bedroom. Please don't shout at each other, even in your bedroom. Kids
They'll
can
hear.
actually they can come even at your door and
Yeah, that's
most
true.
of them tell me that.
Eavesdrop, yeah.
Yes, please keep them off, because whatever we feed on, at times it becomes so frustrating to them. At times you feel like, oh yeah, and I could be the result. Maybe ni mimi nilimekwa separate.
Yeah. So what are the effects of discipline in a child?
The effect is, number one, they can, when you discipline in the wrong way,
Yeah.
it can really affect them. When you go the right way, it is plus to them. So it helps them, carries them on this discipline and a good character moving forward. So do it in the right way and the fruits will be awesome.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay, thank you so much, Rose, for coming.
Karibu sana.
Insightful as usual.
Wow.
Guys, keep your feedback coming. I'm sure we'll have Rose next week and she can answer more of your questions. But for now, we need to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back.